Hello everyone, my name is Josh and it is another Teams recap. We are mid-March already, and just as I had felt, the first half of this year is proving to be every bit as busy as my expectations were. Still going though, still chugging along. A lot of cool things are happening, a lot of events are kicking off just next week and then into mid-year and beyond. And of course, trying to keep up with all that's new and changing in Microsoft Teams is a legendary task, as most of you are probably realizing if you did not already know. Let's go ahead and take a look at what the events are coming up, and then we'll talk about some of what's new in Microsoft Teams. And a little bit of Skype for Business, but not quite as much. First up, Enterprise Connect, the annual conference that takes place in Orlando every year at the Gaylord Palms Resort, is kicking off next week. It is Friday right now, the 15th, and so officially Monday morning, Enterprise Connect kicks off in Orlando. A lot goes on there because this is not just a Microsoft conference. You've got Cisco, you've got Amazon, you've got a bunch of other players that are on the expo floor that have their own keynotes. A lot happens at Enterprise Connect. On the Microsoft side, however, there is a live broadcast that'll be taking place, as you can see here, 10 a.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday, March the 19th. Okay, Lori Wright, General Manager over the Microsoft Teams group as a whole, Office 365, she is going to be getting on stage and introducing other speakers to talk about some of the cool things that are happening, some of the changes that are coming. It's, from what I am hearing and the hype that we see out on social media, it should be a pretty big keynote. A lot of announcements, a lot of cool things happening. It sounds like a lot of newness is about to burst onto the scene. So please make sure you keep this URL locked in, and actually that URL is a little more complex. If you just go to aka.ms/ec19, you'll get right to this page, and of course you'll be able to watch it starting Tuesday morning, March 19th at 10 a.m. Eastern. Now, you knew that I was going to talk about CommsBe Next when I'm talking about events. This is not happening next week, but it is happening in June 5th and 6th in Denver. And so I wanted to talk a little bit today. We've got almost all of the speakers announced for CommsBe Next. And it is an incredible lineup with really great technical and deep content. We talked earlier about our keynote. Heidi Gluteman's over from the Microsoft Product Group will be kicking the conference off. Really looking forward to her keynote. And then as I scroll through this list, you are going to see a ton of names from across the globe. Well, across the US and Europe mostly here that are MVPs, Microsoft Product Group members, other subject matter experts in the Microsoft UC realm. These are people that if you are on social media at all, which if you're watching this video, then you probably are on LinkedIn and Twitter, you will recognize these people. These are people that know their stuff. They're great speakers. They always deliver amazing content. And I'm just scrolling through this. I'm getting so excited for CommsBe Next coming up in June. So take a look at the speakers. Take a look at the sessions that they are putting out there. Next week, we will have a few more speakers and sessions that will be announced. But beyond those announcements, that will be the agenda. We will have several sessions by some of our incredible sponsors as well, where you can see all of them on our main homepage. And I want to let you know, early bird pricing taking place now ends at the end of March. Great deals right now. You can get a hotel bundle, stay on site 2 nights plus the conference pass for $425. You can get a pass only for $150 right now. But again, those prices are going up at the end of this month. So be sure you check out the event now, get registered, and I hope we'll see all of you at CommsBe Next 2019. Now that we've talked a bit about events, let's talk a little bit about some training. Their documentation from the product group has just been immensely updated and cleaned up, and they're doing a great job with it. and not just technical documentation, but training resources and opportunities. If you go out to this site here, and I'll put the link up top. Right now, I'm on the admin training for Teams. But there are 3 categories here. You can actually get registered for a number of instructor-led sessions. Lots of good sessions to choose from here. Live sessions you can register for. Or there's the admin training, which is chocked full of on-demand videos and then the PowerPoint decks from these videos covering a wide range of Microsoft Teams topics for admins. There's a number of quick start guides down here, as well as tutorials and a couple different courses that you can take part in as well. There is no shortage on getting yourself spun up as an admin on everything you can do in Microsoft Teams. On top of that, there is end user training for Teams, and I love this. This area is laid out so nicely, so cleanly, so many good materials to distribute to your organization for adoption campaigns, for general awareness of the tool. There's just a lot of good stuff here. Videos, brief how-tos, little quick starts, just miniature guides, bite-sized things that get people engaged in understanding what Microsoft Teams is and what changes are about to come to your organization. So I'm going to give you one of the links for the training here. You can navigate through the different options. If you don't know about the training out on docs.microsoft.com yet, you really need to dig in and start getting used to this stuff. Great resources. Here we are back on the Tom Talks blog. I haven't highlighted a post from Tom's blog in quite some time. A while back, when I was a little more regular with weekly updates and Skype for Business actually had updates, back in those days, I was quite frequently referencing blogs from Tom on the show, and it's been a while since I've gone out and done that. So much of my content has been from the tech community lately because everything hits there first. But scrolling back through recent posts in Tom's blog, there is so much goodness here. So before I jump to the one that I really want to highlight, I just want to point this blog out to you in case you're not already following it, tomtalks.blog. I'm going to scroll through a few of these topics, and I think you're going to see with the frequency of how much he puts these posts out there and the relevance to those of us in the UC industry, you will see that if you're not following this blog, you should be. First up, 2 days ago, naming Microsoft Teams private chats, even multiple chats with the same people. Really cool functionality. He's highlighted that there, talked a bit about that. Disable mute and unmute noises and toasts in the Plantronics Hub. Microsoft HoloLens 2 and Microsoft Teams. That is cool. So you need to check out tomtalks.blog and check out some of these things. But we have HoloLens with Teams. We've got support for existing third-party audio conferencing providers. For Skype for Business Online, got extended to April 2020. If you didn't know about that, check out that post. That's a big deal. I know of several orgs that were starting to sweat that timeline, and Microsoft has now pushed it out a whole year, April 2020. I can go on and on here, but you get the picture. A lot of great content, very regular postings, great way to stay current of what's going on in Microsoft Teams. Now, the one blog post that I wanted to really call out, because this is one that I'm really excited about, is a change that is coming up to the Meetings tab in Microsoft Teams. Currently, we see this when we go to Microsoft Teams. We see Meetings. This is going to be replaced with a calendar app. Okay, they're aiming for this month. They're aiming for March, so we should all see this very soon. But this whole experience is going to be different. Microsoft is going to build on the functionality that you already have there, but then they're going to do a lot of new stuff with it. They're going to add views for day, work week, week view. As you read through the things that they're going to do, you'll quickly realize it is going to be a lot more like the current Outlook calendar experience you're used to. So you're not working with two different types of calendars. Really, you're kind of working out of almost the same calendar experience. Really cool. Very excited to see this happen. It's been a long time coming. Tom covered it well here. Again, please go to his blog. Check out this post. Check out all those posts. And then this month, keep an eye out for these changes. And last on my content list, but not least at all, that was a little bit of a tongue twister there. I've been reading some Dr. Seuss to the kids lately, and it's got my tongue all kinds of... Anyway, moving along, Pexip is launching a cloud-based video interoperability service for Microsoft Teams. If you'll remember and you'll recall, Microsoft Teams has 3 partners for video interop: Polycom, Pexip, and BlueJeans. Up till now, Polycom has been the only provider that has a cloud-based service in addition to the physical deployments or the VMs that you can deploy. Now, Pexip is joining them. They are launching that cloud-based service. This means you don't have to deploy servers on-prem. You don't have to deploy VMs in Azure. You can take advantage of this cloud-based service. They've got a press release out on their website that goes over all the details. They are going to be showing it off and talking about it at Enterprise Connect next week. So if you're there, definitely be sure to stop by Pexip's booth and check them out. So very cool news, very exciting news. I cannot wait to hear everything that's coming out of Enterprise Connect next week. I think it's going to be a pretty big event on the Microsoft side. And that's it. That's all I got. I think that I'm going to be changing up the format of these things before too long here. I still want to cover news, but so many people are covering news in different formats these days that I want to infuse a little bit of how-tos or learning opportunities, bite-size, into these videos. I'm going to toy with some ideas. We'll see what bubbles up to the surface here, but I think it's time for a little bit of a refreshing change. The Teams recap, the Skype for B recap, it's had a good long run as is, but it's time for shift. I mean, that's the name of the game, right? We go from Link, before that OCS, and Skype for Business, Team. You get the picture. We kind of need to evolve the content with it, so throwing some of those ideas around. For now, though, it is time for me to get packing. I am migrating along with a number of other MVPs from across the globe to Redmond this next week for MVP Summit. Looking forward to catching up with a lot of you and a lot of colleagues in the MVP circles. And then we'll be watching from afar as Microsoft delivers awesome news from Enterprise Connect. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope we'll see you back here for the next Teams recap or whatever it is that it is at that point. Right. Adios.